Now, the problem this morning, Paul, is there. Well, there's a few that we can unpack. First problem is this: it was unfair for this to come down to SMU and Alabama because we could have picked some other teams that maybe you could point at and be like, well, they didn't really have anything special either. But because a team like Penn State was ranked highly all year, they were going to get the benefit of the doubt no matter what. Because Indiana, with one loss, was ranked highly all year because of their story. They were going to get the benefit of the doubt. And it also didn't help them that Clemson, we talked about this last week on the Matt Barrie Show presented by Allstate, that Clemson was the one team that was going to steal a bid. And so the fact that it came down to SMU, I don't like that SMU is going to be picked on for this because they've had one loss all season in the regular season, BYU 10-2, top 15 team, and then to Clemson. It's unfortunate that that's what it came down to, but it did. Did they make the right decision in your mind taking SMU over Alabama?
I mean, as people that serve the intercollegiate athletic world, they did because of what I said in relation
Yeah.
to the fallout. I think another thing, Mac, I heard this Friday in Atlanta among some SEC people that their biggest concern, if that scenario happened Saturday night, was that SMU would get in over Alabama. Could have been Ole Miss, could have been South Carolina, as you said. But
Right.
because of what happened a year ago when Alabama got in over FSU and everybody started threatening and filing suits, they didn't want to go through that again. And I think other than people in Alabama, nobody's feeling sorry for Alabama. And Matt, quite frankly, I don't know that many Alabama fans who feel like they got screwed. I mean, they did it to themselves. 2 weeks ago, we are sitting here talking about the blowout in Norman, and I think that haunted them. Well, that had nothing to do with this. If you listen to Ward Manuel on Tuesday night, uh, he laid out a scenario about strength of schedule and who did you beat, and that's what they used against Miami, but they didn't use that against SMU because they made it to a conference championship game.
Big bad Alabama's been in this thing numerous times. We now employ Nick Saban, and he was the reason that they were in this thing so many times. And I think you said it perfectly when he said no one's feeling sorry for Alabama. And the SEC now ultimately ends up getting 3 teams in. The Big Ten gets 4 teams in. I think that's a little bit surprising based on what we had this year. And I get all of these arguments. I get that, maybe, well, Saban said it perfect this morning when he said all records aren't created equal. And that's correct. And the problem that this format has, and I'll fight this, and I just don't think that it needs to be in there. I think if you win a conference championship, yes, you should be in the field. But the fact that Boise State and even my alma mater, Arizona State, are getting first round buys because of it, I think that's a problem. And look, I love the inclusion of a group of 5 team. But I was going at it with Boise State people all day yesterday because I thought Arizona State, based on coming from a Power 4 schedule and everything they had to go through, was harder than what the Mountain West had to go through. And Boise State's in. They played a schedule in a conference that's got 1, 2, 3, 4 teams, 4 out of 12 teams that have winning records, and they played one of those 4 twice.
Yeah, Matt, I mean, if we were really sitting here objectively, and not that we aren't, but I mean, people in college athletics, the debate today really shouldn't be about SMU. It should be about Indiana. They did absolutely nothing to earn a ticket into this field. They don't even have a good win, I don't think, do they?
No,
And they have a
no.
terrible loss. But they're America's favorite team this year. They're so they got the benefit of that. Just like on Saturday night, SMU became America's darling. And I can just hear those people in that committee room, eating their pizza at midnight, going, "Man, what an amazing comeback, Rhett Lashley's team." Just like if you were and I were little league parents, and congratulating the 7-year-old for going at it and giving it the old college try, and you're still going to get a reward. But that's what we're talking about. I mean, I don't feel with 12 teams that anybody is really getting screwed that badly.
I might turn